Okay, I'm all set up and ready to go. I think I'm going to go through my $35 worth of pennies that I picked up from Ohio last week and see what all we can find. I'm sure I'll get over a pound. My box there that I fill up, I seal it up after 25 pounds. That'll be my fourth box. I'm 1 pound away, so I'll get that today, and that'll be 100 pounds, working toward our 1,000 pounds. We're going to talk a little bit about the whether you should hoard pennies or not today. My title is my copper pennies retirement, and we'll talk about inflation. We'll talk about projected prices, several different things along the way with just having fun and seeing if we can find some wheat pennies and maybe some Canadian pennies. Who knows what we'll find. Maybe we'll do good, maybe we won't. A lot of these are customer roll, maybe a little less than half of them are sealed. I think it's going to be fun. Let's get started. I'm in my third roll, and it is those customer wrap that I'm always skeptical of. And I got my first wheat penny, 1944D. Well, that's a pretty cool thing. I got several copper pennies already, too. 1944D. Very nice. There's a cover. Cover. Copper. $82. That's that noise. Copper. I was running out of my homemade assorted coin bottles. You have to put some type of paper towel or something in the bottom because it tapers downward. Anyway, I broke down and ordered me an assortment of them. It was fun to get those in and open them up. It is just a couple of rolls later, and I have my first Canadian, and this is one of the 12-sided ones. This is the 2.5 gram, 98% copper, 1994. I saw that copper went back up. It was, for a few weeks, it was down a little bit under 2.5 cents in each value, but it is up to like 2.53 cents value each now. Just a bit later, and another wheat penny. That's number 2. 1957D. I think we've gotten one of those before. All right, number 2. Did you hear they're not going to make the yardstick any longer? Yep. I think they're just going to keep it the same length it is. Oh, good grief, that's silly. Somebody told me that yesterday. A bit later, and I come across another Canadian. This one is one of the zinc types. This is when the Queen was a bit older. But we'll set that aside, and I'll put it with my copper bag. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but if you're not, the quick place that I go to get my silver prices and my copper prices is Coinflation. 82. And so I'll just leave a link below to Coinflation if you're interested in checking into that. It's pretty quick and easy, and I like it a lot. I've used it for a long time. I look up other charts and stuff sometimes, but my go-to almost daily It's just checking coinflation to see what things are going on at. I wanted to show you something, just kind of for whatever it's worth. This is a piece of copper pipe that a friend gave me. This is my electric furnace where I am going to start melting down copper pipe, copper wire and stuff, and making my molds. I finally got them in. Things are just a wreck right now, so it still may be a week before I get started. I was really hoping to get started this week. See that tube of pennies? There's 43 copper pennies in that tube, and that is and I don't know if I told you, that copper pipe there is just under 4 ounces. The copper in that tube, it's 43 pennies, and it too is just under 4 ounces of copper. Not to mention just the little bit of zinc that's also in with them. I just thought that was interesting in comparison. Right at the end of this row, I find my third wheat penny. $19.45, Philadelphia. Very nice. I opened up the next row, and right there staring at me at the very end of the row is a 1977 Canadian copper penny. Very cool. I like those. So, I'm reading a lot about copper and stuff. And I read today the projected growth of copper. Man, I can't see that. Let's weigh it. Oh, that's ounces. Let's go to grams. There we go. That baby is zinc. Alright, back to our row. Anyway, the projected growth of copper over the next 5 years is that it will grow 45.07% in the next 5 years. And that would put it at $5.70, right about there, per pound. That's pretty good growth for just letting it sit there and grow. Very safely, might I add, very safely. Why is it so safe? Because this penny right here, I went out to the commodity store called the bank, and I bought this piece of copper for a penny, and yet already today it's worth 2.53 cents. And in the worst case scenario, and copper just for whatever reason nosedives and drops down to nearly nothing, I can take this coin back to the same commodity store I bought it from and sell it back to them for a penny. Kind of hard to go wrong there. Plus, I'm finding wheat pennies for my collection. And wheat pennies, if I want to sell them, I can gather them up and sell them, by the roll or whatever. And they sell for more than if I was to just sell the rolls as copper. So there's 82. So there's an additional value. Not to mention the joy. Just the fun of collecting. I'm getting a pretty good amount of copper. And I'm still just going through those rolls that I told you I was a little bit skeptical about. But, oh, look at there. There's a 12-sided copper. Cool. What year is that? 1986. 98% copper, 2.5 grams. So, like I was saying, those rolls that I was skeptical of are doing well. Maybe some of the other rolls I didn't know what would do will do worse. We'll see. What are you? 93. This is the last one of these in the bunch. All I've done so far is these. There's my copper and the wheat pennies and the Lincoln. So I'm pretty pleased with it. The rest is the other customer sealed and the bank sealed. I mean customer rolled and bank sealed. And there's a little bit fewer bank sealed than I was expecting, than I remembered. That's okay. Pretty much right at the beginning of this roll, I come to a Canadian 12-sided. 1989. Cool. 82. I have a phone call. Stop. Sorry about that. I needed to take that call. Let's get back to this roll. Kind of going on with what I was talking about a little while ago. If you take the time to save up, hoard, collect, store, whatever you want to call it, $1,000 worth of copper pennies. I know that's a lot. Cost you $1,000. Unlike if you went out and bought other commodities, you'd be paying premiums. Automatically, at today's price, it's worth $2,530. And if the copper does exactly what they project over the next 5 years, your copper will be worth $3,670.27. Pretty good growth. Just for sitting here with a little hobby of separating pennies. They make a machine, if you really, really, really want to get into it. I'll try to remember the name of it. But the last I looked, it looks like there's like somewhere between $500 and $800 each. I just don't want to pay that personally. But I mean, it would save a ton of time. And I know time is money. And I've watched videos with them work and they seem to work well. So if this is something you really want to get into, it might be something to consider. I want to get there slowly, the old-fashioned way. $82. Hey, I got a dime. Hee, how cool. I love doing that. It's not silver, but it's a dime. Copper. Every now and then, an 83 looks funny, so I weigh it, but they're always 2.5. Quite a few rolls later, and I'm going through the customer rolls like this. Have not found a wheat penny yet. I am finding some copper. I finally found my first Canadian in this type rolls. And I don't think, it's a 12-sided, but I don't think I've seen this one before. What does that say? 1857 to 1992. Some type of memorial or some type of landmark, obviously. Huh. I'll have to look up and see what that means. It is 85%, 87%, no, 98% copper, excuse me there. Oh, that's cool. Well, at least I found one. Well, I finally got my fourth wheat, 1954D. It's about time. That was cool. If you're hoarding or if you're considering hoarding, I'm curious, how do you think you'll store them? You know, storage is an issue. There's no doubt about it. We all admit that. If you're going to have, you know, $1,000 or 1,000 pounds, whatever, it's going to take a little bit of room. How are you going to store it? I have seen people using 5-gallon buckets, but let me tell you, they weigh over 300 pounds. That's difficult to move about. I've seen some people have gone out and gotten 1-gallon plastic jugs, and I think they said that those are about 30 pounds when they're full. Not bad, that works. I am just using $half boxes, and when I fill it all the way to the hilt, it's 25 pounds. Then I close it up, I seal it up, tape it up real good. I write on there what it is, and they stack well. So right here, this is my fourth one. Here today I'll have my 100 pounds plus. And anyway, that's just my way of doing it. There's probably many different ways you can do it. I just thought it's something you might want to think about because those 5-gallon buckets are so heavy. There's wheat penny number 5, 1952D. Nice. Copper. So, what do you think? Do you think that inflation is... What's that? Interesting. Do you think inflation is going to get worse? Do you think things are going to get really bad? The worse you think it's going to be is more of a reason why you should be doing this. And the cool thing is, just in case it doesn't happen, you don't lose anything. You still got your money that you paid for it. You probably got a pretty good stack of wheat pennies. Just food for thought. Hey, if I could have seen it, I had an ender. Next row is a 1957D. That is number 6. Oh, right behind it was 1950D. Number 7. Cool. Well, that was nice. Well, I hope there's another one in this roll. There is. Ah, how cool. That's 3 in this row. 1940. Got some corrosion on it. Probably from hanging out with a zinc penny. Copper. Well, that was really... Oh, is that a Canadian right there? I believe it is. There's Mr. Corrosion. I think he was sitting on top of a battery. $1973. Man, what a good roll this one is. Cool beans. Copper, copper. You know, I don't always keep a close enough eye out for the S coins. I like finding them. Now that I've got this new batch of coin rollers in, I think I'll just start sticking my S coins in a separate row, and I'll mark it S coins. I found one today, 1970S. So far that I may have even passed one up, but sometimes I just don't catch it. 83. Well, we'll weigh that one. Zinc. This one is marked LLD. It's the only one I've seen like it so far. We'll pop it open and see if it's anything different. They look mostly kind of newish, don't they? I think we're hoping we don't find any more LLD. I believe Mr. LLD has gone through his pennies. There is an 82. He doesn't keep those unless unless he does, and they're all 2.5. I should have weighed it, but it's already in the jar now. Yeah, LLD is not the initials we want to find. For sure. Hope there's not any more of those. I just cut this wrapper open and took a look in there, and I think I see 2 dimes. Is that cool or what? Let's see if I can get them out of there. Oh, come on. There's a dime. And there's a dime. See, now that's why we hunt for copper, because we find dimes. The very next roll after the 2 dimes, and I believe this is my 9th wheat penny. 1953D. It's not in the best of shape, but that's number 9. Oh, that's a nice 1962. Wow. We'll set that over there. Looky there. I believe that's my second one in this box. 2009. It's been quite a while, but here is another Canadian penny. It's a 12-sided. 1989. Cool. You know, one of the reasons I've mentioned before why I hoard copper pennies, because I like it. I just enjoy it. If you try it and you don't enjoy it, I'd suggest you don't do it. Copper, copper, copper. There's lots of other reasons, but that's a good one in my opinion. Two rolls later, and I just found another 12-sided. 1993. Remember, they were 98% copper up until 98, I believe it was. Or was it 96? 96. Cool. You know, I was thinking, if you think that the world economy is going to suddenly improve and the country's going to get its act together and that Washington's not going to continue to take rights away from us, they're going to pay off the national debt, put the dollar back on the gold system, stock market's going to do great. You probably don't want to do this. But there's a lot of us that aren't sure about all those things. $82. Oh, wheat penny, there's number 10. Fantastic. 1946. Philadelphia. There's number 10. Fantastic. Copper. 82. There is number 11. 1944. The old wheat penny. Oh, did I tell you that copper's on sale? It is. Yeah. For every 2.5 cents worth, you can get it for a penny down at your bank. Pretty amazing, ain't it? Pretty amazing. What commodities can you do that with? Big sale. Better get it while the getting's good. Start adding to your commodity retirement fund. You know, another thing we don't talk about a lot is this is also another hedge against the digital dollar, which is a terrifying thought. The digital dollar. We don't like your political views, so we've frozen your assets until you comply and prove that you love the big brother. I just came to another one. Let's look at this one. This is an old one. Golly. That says 1909. Wow. It's hard to see. Yeah, there it is. 1909. Huh. Wow. That's really cool. I don't see anything under it, so I guess it's not a S. The back of it looks like it had a sticker on it. So it's kind of hard to tell anything. I guess I'll get it wet and see if I can just get it wet, if I can get that off a little bit. There does not seem to be any initials at the bottom. So it's 1909 Philadelphia, apparently. I'm pretty sure I said at the beginning that this is the box of Ohio pennies that I picked up while I was on my trip last week. And it was $35 in the box there, and I've got $10 left. I've got $9 in the sealed ones and then $1 in customer rolled. So I thought I'd just stop after $25 because that's a normal box and just see where I'm at. I am already over 3 pounds of copper, which is very cool. Haven't weighed my 1982s yet. I've got 13 wheat pennies, which one of them is a 1909, which is pretty doggone cool. Handful of, the Canadians. I got 3 dimes and a few other things I'm going to keep. So that's pretty good. And I've still got the $10 worth there to go through to finish up for tonight. I am very pleased with this box so far. I wasn't really paying attention. I just popped open a row of all 2023s. So as long as it was open, I went through looking for the VDBV, but I didn't find any. I think I got a couple more rolls of those in this bunch. I'm not going to open them. Just leave them like they are for the time being. Well, I have finished up. I ended up having 8 rolls of 2023s at the end. I didn't even realize I had gotten those. I did open the one roll and went through them, but I didn't find any of the varieties. I just got the 13 wheat pennies, which is still cool with me. I did get the 1909. Got a handful of the Canadian coppers, 3 dimes, and a few of the coins I'm just going to put in a tube and keep them because they're in really nice shape. And I think I got 3 of the 2009s. I got over 4 pounds of copper. Totally pleased with that. I've already weighed out the 82s. Like always, way more copper than not copper. And I've already taken a pound out and added it to this guy. And this represents my 4th 25-pound box. I got it all sealed up and ready to stack away. 100 pounds of copper plus that. Pretty cool. Now let's start on the next 100. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think. Love to hear from you.